So this is a look at another DC Finest, the latest one, Superman Time and Time Again. Was so excited to see this coming out. So this covers the start of the DC of the Superman Triangle years. This was where the title they had four Superman titles coming out week after week, and so it's a genius idea. So they had a triangle in the top box with the week number, so week one, week two, and so on. So you never get lost with story, and you can just read it week by week and know where you're up to with the story. This is my era of Superman. Superman was brilliant when John Byrne came on, but it was John Byrne and it felt like a John Byrne comic. But when he left, and he left it to in the hands of like Marv Wolfman, Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, Roger Stern, and that lot, Superman really found its feet and just amazing. The art in this is just gorgeous. You've got Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, Bob McLeod, and other artists on it. It's just absolutely beautiful. And on this paper, it's like a slightly shiny but not quite matte paper, if that makes sense. So the initial storyline is Crisis on Kryptonite Earth, and then after this storyline, anybody remember Starman? Not the Starman, not the cool one, but the weird one who had white eyes. But after this storyline, I think so. Come to the final part. It's a big. Just look at that artwork, just gorgeous. Big chunky 48 pager. And then this really nice one by Dan Jurgens and Art Thibault on the artwork and writing. Dan Jurgens is so underrated as an artist. I think he's so good. Great writer as well. And then there was another story, but then on page 185, you have the start of the Triangle years. And look at that cover, just wonderful. That's a wonderful Jerry Ordway cover. And this Jerry Ordway, great artist, but I never knew until Superman that he was a great writer as well. This was just amazing. This is, I'd say that it's. I don't know who can decide between Dan Jurgens and Jerry Ordway for who's the best writer artist on Superman, because they both, for me, do iconic, classic looking Superman, but making it feel modern at the same time. I'm enjoying the action comics at the moment by Mark Waid, which goes into Superboy's teenage years. But I don't think there's ever been as good a time as in the Superman comics as this period from late 80s, early 90s to mid 90s. They just hit the ground running. And they were so fresh, so dynamic. It felt exciting. And even though there was a group of about four different teams on the books, it felt uniform, but not in an annoying way. You wanted to read each comic because they were all equally diverse, but equally connected and interesting. It's a great cover. And some Bob McLeod goodness, who was the New Mutants artist for the first, 10, 12 issues. This is the storyline that this book's named after, time and time again. Nice, timey-wimey adventure. They just took so many risks with Superman, what you could do with Superman, really stretched the story capabilities. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful read. We've got so many of the big blockbuster events in this comic, in this collection, that there's a bit of every kind of Superman story that you want, every kind of sub-genre in Superman. So you got the sci-fi ones, the pure superhero ones, the Krypton ones, and things like that. So yeah, really, really solid, really, really good. So $39.99, like all the DC Finest, and you get 595 pages for that price. So you just get shy of 600 pages. When you think this is cheaper than a Marvel Epic Collection, which could just have 350, 400 pages. Why can't Marvel do this? I don't know, but highly, highly recommended. Great jumping on point. This is my first DC Finest Superman book because this is my era of Superman. So I'm not going to bother with the earlier ones. I'm just going to get from this period up, from like the John Byrne starts upwards, because the next book coming out in this range is the start of the John Byrne era. So yeah, so happy this is out in this format because I'm not a big fan of big bulky omnibuses. So yeah, gets an easy. It's a 10 out of 10. You will not be disappointed with this book. Okay, bye.